Hi everyone, Leslie Ray here with another Digital Delights tutorial. Today I'm going to share with you how to make a double easel card. For the project I'm sharing with you today, I need an 8x8 base for the cardstock, or base cardstock for the base of my card. I need 2 pieces of white cardstock that I'm going to print out my papers and stamps on. I use Digital Delights digital papers. For this I use the new Rich Damask collection, and also I need some Digital Delights digital stamps. For this one I use the Modern Frames collection and Larry the Bumblebee. Scissors, cutter, folder, some markers, glitter and adhesive, and of course any extra embellishments that you want to use. I used ribbon this time. I began by, in my publisher program, building my frames. This card is already going to be kind of heavy with layers, and so I did some visual layers by layering the lighter damask of blue with the darker damask, so that you see that darker outline. That's just the darker damask color underneath it. And I went ahead and sized the size I needed. I need them to be as big as 4 inches square. And so I made my dark blue be 4 inches square, and then my light blue over the top of it is 3 3/4 inches square. So I have a nice thin little border between the two visually. And I have another square over here that's 3 3/4 of the gold with white damask, and that I will run through the printer again with just the frame showing, so that the frame will print on top of that. I have my Larry the Bumblebee sized the way I want him to be, and then I made my own sentiment to go inside my frame. It says, "Be the best bee you can be." Both of my kids, their mascot for their school are yellow jackets, and when they're younger they're bees, and so we're always reminding them to be the best bee they can be. And really what you see here was printed in 2 different spots. First I printed just the frame without anything else, so that it could fit exactly on that piece of yellow that I had on the other slide. And then I ran it back through my printer with Larry again in case I needed an extra one. And then also this 8-inch strip that I made. And what I did is I sized my paper to be 8 inches across, and then I used the cropping tool over here on the left to crop it down just right so that it looks like it also is matted paper. And then what I did is I colored out my bees, and you can see with Larry I colored him in with my Bic markets, and then I used the glitter pen to glitter his wing, and I used some 3D crystal lacquer to gloss his eyes, and I went ahead and glittered his antenna too. And then I cut out the outside of my frame, and I used the glitter pen to go around that inside square, and I went ahead and cut out all my pieces because I want to show you how to make the card base. I want to spend more time making the card base than I do the pieces. So let's do the card base, and then I'll show you how to attach the pieces. So all my pieces are cut out. I've cut these to 4 inches square. I'll put them to the side here. And I've cut my strip out. And I've cut another little skinny piece of strip. This you can, I'll show you in a minute. This we can use for our sentiment if we want to, or a little statement or whatever. Here's my 8x8 inch piece of square, and what I want to do is I want to fold it in half. And it's not going to matter which way you fold it in half because, well, it's 8 inches both directions. I'm going to use this is just a craft stick, but you could use any kind of bone folder or whatever. And then I'm going to take out my cutter, and since this is 8x8, I know I want to cut at 4 inches. But I don't want to cut all the way down because I want to keep my card intact. So I'm just going to cut to the fold line. I've got it cut to the fold line. And next, I'm going to fix this so that when I open it, it acts like an easel. Normally, if you were doing an easel, you would fold this way, right? And you'd have your easel. Well, this is going to be a fancy fold because it's going to fold out this way. So to make that fold, I'm going to do my diagonal from the outer bottom of the card to the inside of the card. So it's going to look like this. And again, I'm using this craft stick to make my fold. So, see, when this one folds up, it's going to do like that. Okay? And so, I'm going to fold the other one the exact same way. I love how super easy this card is to make. I always admired all the easel cards, but I wanted something a little different, and this to me was perfect. See? Isn't that great? Don't you love that? So, what we need is this is going to go down here so that when it rests like this. I'm going to go ahead and stick this down. And I've gone ahead and placed on the back of this some foam dots. And the reason I did that was because you could have it be flush, you know, you could just use your regular adhesive and stick it down, and there'd be just a little bit of buffer there to catch your card, a little bit of a lip. But I kind of want it to have a little bit better lip than that because I found in my experience that it worked better with, you know, just a skinny piece of tape. This is just regular foam squares. It's not anything big and heavy. And I'm going to put this down on the bottom with just a smidge of white showing underneath, like that, like that. And so it'll catch right there and hold my card open. So now, to build our card pieces, I want to build this one first. I've already put some foam dots on this. I think this frame will look smashing with my sentiment popped up as well. And this square modern frame, you need to make sure when you put this down you're going the right direction, because even though it looks square, it's a little bit longer than wider in one spot. So, and then I'm just going to use some regular tape runner to stick down my square. I'm going to just kind of center it here in the middle where I like it. I'll move it over just a smidge. There we go. Okay. Be the best bee you can be. I think that will look smashing on that side. I'll show you that in just a minute. And then I went ahead and I added some double stick tape on the back of my ribbon. When I'm doing this kind of application for a ribbon, this works perfect for me. I'll stick my ribbon down and I can roll it over here on the back. And then I want to stick down my bee. And again, I went ahead and stuck some double stick adhesive, or not double stick adhesive, some foam squares on the back of him to give him a little dimension on the thing. A note about coloring my bee with the big markets. My favorite tip is that I always like to use the Cloud 9 pen. It's a light gray to go around and kind of give a little dimension around his arm and stuff, it just adds to the pop of his body and gives him a little more three-dimensional look, in my opinion. And so I'm going to stick him right here, and I need a little bit of glue dot or some 3-in-1. This 3-in-1 will be perfect for this. Put a little spot of glue on, let's see, I want this side. Yes, I want that side. Just put a little spot of this Beacon 3-in-1. It's a super tacky glue. It's perfect. And stick that right there. And I can kind of, I'm going to trim that a little bit so it's not quite right there in his face. There we go. Not quite. Kind of even up my bow a little bit. There we go. So now I want to stick these on here on my card base so that when they're up, they're like that. And so when these are down, I know it looks odd, and when your person opens the card, they're going to go, wow, they really messed this up. But no, they didn't. They have to face each other like this. And you only want to glue on this bottom part. So I'm going to move my pieces off to the side. And I even made myself a mini template so that I could remind myself this is how I glue. So I didn't glue it funny. And so be the best bee you can be. I'm going to line that up right there. So now, perfect. Love that. And then this side, I'm going to glue here. And glue Larry with his bow already appliqued on right there. There we go. And so when the card is open, it stands up. Looks like this. You can see. And then if you wanted to, you could put even another little medallion right there. And then you can place your sentiment here or put some more ribbon down, however you want. I'm going to write a sweet note to my kids. Being it's last day of school, I'm going to write, you know, have a wonderful last day of school or whatever. Sign it, love, Mom. And it's ready to go in their backpacks. So I hope you enjoyed my tutorial on how to make a double easel card. And I thank you for your time. Join us again for Digital Delights tutorials.